first book of the 24-hour readathon, and this is Circe by Madeline Miller. So if you saw my last vlog, which I will link for you guys down below, one of my prompts that came up from my TBR game was to post a poll on Instagram, and you guys voted on Circe, and I did not finish it last weekend, but I did like a reading vlog of like the first bit that I read. I had about like 85 pages to finish today, so I did do that. I finished this book and I really liked it. I don't know, this was a 5-star prediction and it's not 5 stars. I'm thinking it's like a 3-star. I know that people love this book and I get it, like I get why people love it. It's a really great story. There's so much adventure and love, and Circe coming to like accept herself because she is like the daughter of Helios, and she is exiled to an island all by herself, and it's just really her just coming to terms with not fitting in with being a god. So I really liked it, but I don't know, it just didn't quite like do it for me. I mean, like it was written well, and I did write down some really beautiful quotes, and like it's not that I didn't dislike it, it just didn't, I didn't get all those like intense loving feelings that I get with books. I don't know, it was a good story. I feel like I have to defend myself because I know this is a well-loved book on BookTube and just in general, but yeah, I don't know if my expectations were just super high, so it's like impossible to meet. A lot of the scenes where it was just her and her thoughts like on her island picking plants, and she's like thinking about stuff, I thought it was so boring. So I don't know, but yeah, 3 stars. Oh yes, I decided to do a little 24-hour readathon because I am so behind on my reading. This is the first book that I have finished in April and we're already like halfway through. It's not good. I need to catch up, so that's why I'm doing this. I started at noon and it's been like 2 hours already, but we got 1 book down. I'm going to eat lunch and then we can go ahead and I'll show you guys the rest of my TBR and we can pick the next read, because I would love to finish another book in this 24 hours. Like that is my goal. I'll show you guys that. I'm going to eat lunch now. It is, what time is it? I think it's like 2 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost 2:30. So I'm gonna eat lunch, take a little break, probably until like 3 o'clock, and then we can pick our next read and get to reading more. Here is the rest of my TBR for April. I know, it's a lot of books. So I am a little bit into Dune. I put it down to read Circe. We have these other books here. So we have like an historical fiction, a sci-fi, and then an anthology. So what I was thinking, because I don't know, I'm not really in the mood for like a sad book, because this is really sad apparently. I was thinking of Goldilocks, which is a sci-fi following female astronauts. And I just thought this would be a perfect 24-hour readathon. It's probably like fast-paced and engaging. And yeah, I really want to read it and I think it's gonna be really good. So I was thinking I will start this. It is a little long. I'll see how many pages exactly. But yes, I was thinking to start this, and then if I feel like I need a break from this, I can pick up the anthology Dangers of Smoking in Bed and maybe read a short story in between if I want, because I really want to get a book read this 24-hour readathon so that next week I can read a bunch of Dune, and then over the weekend I will probably pick up Hamnet. That's the plan. So let's see how many pages we have here and if I think it's actually attainable. So it's about 330 pages. I think I can do that. I'm gonna have faith in myself. The font isn't too small and it's gonna be space and astronauts, which is like my favorite thing. So I think I can do it. We are going to start Goldilocks. Like I said, all I know is that you are following a group of female astronauts. They steal a spaceship because they have to save Earth. Don't know anything else, but I'm excited. All right, so it is 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna sit and start this for a little bit, and then I'll definitely let you guys know my thoughts once I get into it. I just finished 3 chapters of Goldilocks. I am like, let's see, like 43 pages in, and I'm liking it. Of course, we're just at the beginning. So far, it seems like it has the potential to have like all of my favorite elements of science fiction, which are one that is kind of set in basically our time, not like super in the future, not I don't know, set in like a whole other crazy world. I don't really know how to explain it. I like things that, I like science fiction that's set really in our time. Like Dune, for example, it's like completely not in our world, in our time, but this one definitely is. You're just set a little bit in the future where the world is becoming more inhabitable because of climate change. The government has been trying to find a new planet, and they found this new planet that they were initially going to send some, like a crew of women and men, but in this world now, because a woman-hating man was nominated or became president, which sounds familiar, he's basically been letting a bunch of government agencies and allowing basically women to be kicked out of all jobs, not just like science jobs, but like everything, engineering, basically everything, so that women aren't in the work field, because right now they're viewed as weak, which of course these women are not taking it and taking things into their own hands. And you have these 5 women who basically decide to steal a spaceship and go themselves to find this habitable planet, because I think the government has like given up. I'm not really sure. But so you have that first setting, which is set in our time. The second thing that I love is that it takes place in space on a spaceship, which I love because they're obviously in their spaceship and they have to get to the other planet. So I'm thinking that a lot of it is going to be set there. And then third is like you're following astronauts, which obviously we have here. So it's set up to be something that I love, but we will see. We have the 5 women, we've been introduced, they all seem interesting. We haven't really gotten to know them, but we will see. So it is like 4:30 now, and I think I'm going to go and pick up some wine, mainly because I need to get out of the house for a little bit. It was supposed to be like storming all day, and it was storming earlier, but it stopped now. But I think it's going to get bad later again. So I think I'm going to run out and get some wine for later tonight, and then obviously come back and read a bit more of this. All right, I am back from the wine store. I came back a little bit ago. It's almost 6 o'clock, it's like 5:45 now. So I'm gonna sit. I was watching some YouTubes, but it's time to get back to reading now. Definitely gonna try to read for like an hour, at least like a good solid hour of reading, and see how far I can get. It is like an hour-ish later, and I am about 90 pages in, and yes, I am enjoying it. It is getting very science-y, which I'm liking. The main character that you're following, her name is Naomi, and she is the botanist of the crew, which is really funny because I feel like I never read The Martian, but it's just so funny because I feel like it's like one of the most famous astronauts, and he was also a botanist, and there's like a lot of jokes about botany. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting that they chose for her to be a botanist, but it makes sense. And yeah, so she is like in charge of figuring out what plants can grow in the soil on the new planet, and growing food on the spaceship and things like that. And there, of course, things are going wrong, and you're finding out all the little sciencey things. And so yes, I'm really liking it. And then of course you have the other women. So there is 4 other women besides the main character. You have like the main captain, and she is like in charge of everything. The pilot, you have like an engineer, of course you have the medical doctor, I can't remember the other roles that the other women have, but I will say I was expecting more interactions between all of the women, and that's not really happening right now. The main character and the captain of the ship, her name is Valerie. Valerie actually raised Naomi. I don't think this is all a spoiler, like raised Naomi because her parents, her dad died and her mom wasn't around. So there's like that weird relationship between them. But yeah, so far you're not really getting the relationships between all the women, which is something that I was expecting, but we still have a bit to go. So I am really liking it. And you're also getting flashbacks of them like on Earth leading up to them stealing the spaceship. So you're getting the background story. So yes, I'm hoping, I am liking the sciencey aspects and all the things going wrong and them trying to solve it with science. But I do want more relationships with all of the women. Like I want to get to know the other people on the ship. So hopefully that will happen. But now I'm going to make some dinner and take a little break, and then we can open the wine and relax and read a bit more. Toby's also gonna get some treats. Want some treats, Toby? Want some treats? Want some treats, Tobes? Do you want some? So Toby loves cheese. Want some cheese, Tobes? Oh yeah. Just a little bit. Almost 9:30 and I think I'm gonna move into the bedroom now. Not go to bed, but I'm definitely gonna like do my skincare routine and read a bit more of Goldilocks. So I am almost halfway. I'm like 142 and 166 is the halfway mark. So I definitely at least want to get to that. I am going to read tonight until I like can't read anymore. And then go to bed, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. But yes, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. You definitely are just following the main character, whose name is oh my gosh, I always want to, her name is Naomi, but I always want to say Noemi from the girl from Mexican Gothic. Just like those two names are like confused in my brain. But yes, her name is Naomi. That's it. Naomi. And yeah, so when you get those flashbacks of her before she got on the stolen spaceship, you're just following her life and like her finding out about her ex-husband and all of this stuff, which is like kind of interesting. I definitely prefer the scenes when they're in space, but it's not like I find it boring. So it still is interesting because you're finding out like how she got to where she is now. So yeah, I'm going to probably just catch up with you guys tomorrow. So it is like 7 o'clock. Got my coffee. I did read a bit of Goldilocks last night. I only got to like 170 because I just wanted to chill out, and I just watched some YouTube, and I'm on chapter 19 now. YouTube, and I watched some That's So Raven, but I feel refreshed and ready to tackle these last like 160 pages. So I'm going to drink the rest of my coffee, and then I shall get to reading this book. All right, so it is about 10:30 and I have been reading. How many exactly? I'm not sure. I'm on page 246. I actually do want to know how many pages I have read this morning, because I was on 170. Oh no, 170. Okay, so I read like about 76 pages so far this morning. It's almost 10:30 and I am getting close. I'm gonna keep reading, obviously, try to get as far as I can before noon. But yes, things are getting heated up. We are learning about some betrayals, of course. The like captain of the ship, I always felt like I didn't trust her since the beginning, because you know, those people who have their own agenda, but they think that they're doing it for like the greater good. But I don't know, I kind of got the feeling that she is like, she low-key like loves the power, and she is so wrapped up in her own idea of what is good for humanity that she like will make her wishes come true no matter the consequences of anyone else, even the people that she claims to care about. So yeah, it's getting interesting. Ooh, I have to sneeze. The main character Naomi has made a friendship with one of the other characters. They're called the flight surgeon, or just the medical doctor on the ship, and so they're building a friendship. And yes, it's getting interesting. So I'm gonna keep going. We have like an hour and a half left of the 24-hour readathon. Don't know how much more I can get to. I am reading it pretty quickly, I have to say, but I'm not gonna make any promises I'm gonna finish the book, because I always do that and I never do. So let's go. Noon, it's 24 hours, but I am so close. I'm on page 328, and it ends on 333. So I am just going to finish it, and I'll be a couple minutes over the 24-hour readathon, but I'm just so close. So I'm gonna finish it, and then I'll come back and tell you guys my final thoughts. Okay, I did it. I finished, and it's only 12:08. So perfect, I think that's awesome. So I did end up finishing Goldilocks by Lara Lamb, and I really liked it. It's not my favorite, like my new favorite sci-fi or anything, but I read it really quickly. It was a nice, entertaining story, like I told you guys, and I like all the sciencey aspects. I love that you spent majority of the book actually in space, and it definitely got a little bit kind of thrillery a little bit towards the end. I like that the Earth was basically coming to an end because of all of the climate change and just how we've been treating Earth. You're definitely more in the future, and Earth is dying, like I've said. And I like that she had where a lot of the people on Earth didn't even believe it, and you know, didn't believe that Earth was actually dying, and weren't actually for trying to find a new planet because they believed that everything was okay, which sounds familiar like in our pandemic right now. So I don't know, I like that aspect. I felt like it made it more realistic. But yes, I really enjoyed this. I think I'm gonna give it like 3 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna sit a little bit on my rating, but it didn't like completely blow my mind, but I still really enjoyed it. And I mean, I'll always love space books and astronaut books. So, and the ending was fine. I mean, it kind of wrapped up all neatly and nicely, but you know, that happens. So happy. So that was 333 pages of this. And then I finished the last like 85 pages of Circe as well. So I think that is a successful 24-hour readathon. How many pages is that? I'm just curious. I'm not good at math. So like 418 pages. I think that's pretty good. So yes, guys, that is the end of my 24-hour readathon. I'm very happy. I read a really great and engaging, fast-paced sci-fi, which this I also think, if you are new to sci-fi, I think if you read a lot of adult contemporary and you want to like dip your toe into sci-fi, this is it. Because with all of the past with all the like flashbacks in the past, they were very much like your contemporary adult, and there's like a love story in it. So I definitely think if you love contemporary adult literature but you want to try some sci-fi, this is definitely it. And there was a bit of sciencey stuff in the beginning, but towards the end there wasn't like super sciencey. So I think if you are afraid of like reading, if you're afraid of having too much science talk, there wasn't too much in here, but I did like it. And there was a lot of like medical things happening, which of course I loved. So yes, we read that, and then of course I loved Circe. So I think this was a successful 24-hour readathon. I'm so happy I caught up on my reading. I got 2 books done, and now I can not feel so stressed with the rest of the month and feel like I can get to it. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think if you have read these 2 books or you want to read them now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on my next one. Bye.